Hello guys, welcome back to another tutorial. My name is Fumi Shotono, CEO of Glee West Fashion Academy. In today's tutorial, we'll be teaching you how to cut simple shirt gown. So let's get started. The first thing to do is to take your shoulder measurement. Here my shoulder measurement is 15 and a half. So I will divide it by 2. I will mark it here, then put half inch for sewing allowance, for joining allowance. This is it here. Sorry, my chalk is not showing very well. You mark it down. You mark it down this way. Then to get your armhole length, you have to divide your bust measurement by 6. Then you add 1 inch to it to get your armhole length. So I've marked out my armhole, my shoulder. Then I will do my shoulder slope. I want to use 1 inch here to do my shoulder slope. Then I will then connect it like this. Then I want to take my neck of 3 inches, 3 inches for the wideness, and 1 inch or 1.5. This is the back. I want to cut the back first. This is the back bodice. So 3 inches for the wideness and 1 inch for the length. So the next thing to do now is to take from your shoulder to take your waist line, your waist measurement, your shoulder to waist. Here my shoulder to waist is 15 and a half. I will add half inch to it, make it 16, so that by the time I hold my shoulder, I will still get that my 15 and a half. I don't know why this chalk is not showing very well on this fabric. So this is it here. So from there, from this my waistline, I will take my waist to hip measurement of 8.5 inches. I will add half inches to it, making 9. So the next thing to do now is to take my bust circumference. My bust circumference is 36. So I want to add extra 5 inches to it so that it can be free. So 5 inches plus 36, that's 41. 41 divided by 4, we have 10.25. So I will measure it here. Then I will add sewing allowance of 1.5. You can add 1 inch, you can add 2 inches, depending on what you want. But I add sewing allowance of 1.5 here. That will then come to the waist circumference there. My waist circumference is, I will then come to my waistline. Sorry, my waist circumference is 30.5 plus 5 inches plus 5, making 35.5. So you divide it by 4, you measure it out. You divide it by 4, you measure it out. This is it here. Then you add your sewing allowance of 1.5. Then later, you come down to your hip measurement. My hip is 40 plus 5, that's 45. You divide it by 4. Divide it by 4. Then you mark what you get. You measure it out. Then add your sewing allowance to it. Sewing allowance of 1 inch. So after that, the next thing to do now is to connect it together. You connect all the line from your bust to your waistline, from your bust line to your waistline, then from your waistline to your hip line. Please let me get something that will show very well on the fabric. So I don't know why things are not showing on this fabric. I've used pen and it's still the same thing. So the length now, the next, after taking the waist circumference, the hip circumference, then the length of the of our dress is 43. This is where my 43 is. This is where my 43 is. So I will then add extra inches for the hemming. So I had 2.5 here to hem the down part. So after that, we've measured the waist circumference, the hip circumference. We will then measure what we have here at our hip circumference there. Plus my sewing allowance, I have 13.3 here. you come to the down part here, you measure that 13.3, then you add extra inches to it. So here I want to add extra 3 inches. Yours can be more than that, so you add extra inches to it. I added extra 3 inches. Note, please, yours can be more than that. So the next thing to do now is to connect from my hip line to the length of my dress. Sorry, by the time I cut it out, you will see how the shape look. So I've connected it together. So after that, you come to this down part, because I want you to come to this down part. You measure 1.5 upward, 2 inches, 2.5, depending on how curvy you want your dress to be, like the side part. I don't want my dress to be let me cut it out so that you understand what I am trying to explain. So this is how it looks when I cut it out. This is how it looks. Let me cut the neck and my shoulders low. So this is it. This is for the back panel. So look at this. This is what I was trying to explain the other time. Look at this edge. I don't like the way this edge is sharp. I don't like this sharp edge like that. So the next thing I want to do now is to come up by 1.5, 2 inches, 2.5, depending on how you want it. I will then take my hip curve, or whatever curve you can use, and if you can use your free hand, you can do it to connect it, to give it a little shape at that side. I will then cut it out. I don't want it to sharp like that, to come out that way. This is it. Now you can see the difference now. So this is for the back panel. The next thing to do now is to fold my fabric again into two. Then you place this on it to cut the front panel. Let's quickly do that. So I've placed my front bodies. I've placed my back panel on the. I've folded my fabric into two, then placed my back panel on it. And look at this side. I leave about 3 inches. I leave 3 inches here. So I want to use these 3 inches to. I will fold it into two, so that will serve as my button allowance, because I want it to be a button down dress. So the next thing to do now is to cut it out. I have to take my neck measurement. Neck measurement of 3 inches. 3 inches wideness. 3 inches wideness by 3 inches wideness and 4 inches for the length. So that's my neck. Then I will connect it and cut it out. So guys, this is how it looks after cutting it out. The next thing to do now is I will take it to. I would put interface. I will iron interface to this side and then fold it this way. I will fold it this way for the button. So after that, the next thing to do is to cut out the sleeve. I want the quarter sleeve for it. So I've drafted out the sleeve. It's a normal basic sleeve. So So I measure the length of the sleeve I want with my hemming allowance. Then from this side I measure 5 inches downward. I then connect my sleeve. Here I measure my round sleeve, put joining allowance to it, then connect it together. So the next thing to do now is to cut it out of the sleeve. Then I will then fold my fabric again. If you can fold your fabric together to cut the two sleeve at the same time, it's a good deal, you go ahead and do that. But the remaining fabric I cannot fold it together to cut the two sleeve. That's why I cut it one by one. I will then fold it on, place it on it, then I will cut it out. So after cutting, the next thing to do is to take it to my sewing machine, join it together, and I have come back to show you guys. Thank you for watching. Please, if you are new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with your loved ones. Please subscribe, it won't cost you anything. Thank you. I am coming back. So guys, I'm back after joining everything. This is the final look. You can see how beautiful it is. Look at the sleeve. That's the sleeve. Look at it. Look at the button down. I use cover button for it. Instead of using my button, I use cover button for it. Thank you for watching, guys. God bless you. See you in my next video.